guys, so it is time to get serious about nutrition. In review from the first week, I saw a lot of great stuff happening as far as getting exercise as part of your daily habits. Whether it was getting into the classes or making sure that we're getting some form of physical activity on most days. That's really important, and most of you are doing that. What I did notice was by far overall, the nutrition was still the biggest component. And in the 15 years that I've been doing this, that is always what the biggest component is about lifestyle changing and just overall feeling better, performing better, looking better, and just overall energy levels, focus, the way we feel in our gut, you know, that bloating, the way that we feel energy-wise throughout the day. So these peaks and valleys, the really high spikes and these lulls in our blood sugar. So if you did not see the first video I did about cleansing, go back, look at that one, because you really do want to set your digestive system up for great absorption of these good nutrients. Most of what I talked about in the cleansing part can be done on a daily basis. You might not necessarily need the fiber drink every single day, but that does help clean things out and get things moving. And then once you start replacing it with all these fresh fruits and vegetables, you will be getting a ton of fiber in your diet. So what I did is I went grocery shopping. I wanted to videotape it, but during the time I was there, number one, my phone kept shutting off, and number two, they were remodeling, so there was stuff all over the place. I couldn't find stuff like I normally do. So brought things back. I've been starting the prep process. So we talked about keeping your insulin levels at an even keel. If you haven't read that, go back and read that. The other thing we need you guys to do is start getting your food into MyFitnessPal ahead of time. This should be done a week in advance, okay? So we really want you to get a good majority of it in MyFitnessPal so you can see, are your calories lining up? Are your proteins lining up? Are your fats lining up? Are your sugars too high or too low? So getting that in ahead of time will definitely help regulate these times that you feel, well, I'm just in a time crunch and I'm just going to go for what's convenient. Because here's the thing, guys. Prepping your food, it does take some work. Having home-cooked meals does take some work. It costs a little bit to have high-quality food. I totally get it. That is why McDonald's, Wendy's, fast food joints are a multi-billion-dollar company, because people want fast, they want quick, they want convenient. But we're also suffering from this low-quality food that we're getting. We want to replace it with good nutrients, good solid nutrients. So what I'm going to talk about is different spectrums of this gamut. So over on this really extreme end, whether you call it extreme, for some people, switching that gear from eating out all the time and eating something that's very inexpensive, $5 fast and ready pizzas, dollar menus from McDonald's. I mean, we have 3 McDonald's in Sun Prairie alone. So there is a market for people that just want fast, easy, inexpensive, low quality garbage. The stuff on this higher spectrum, we're looking at organic, hopefully locally grown, but you know, we're changing seasons here. So, but at least organic. That's that spectrum. If you can't get all of organic, because some places are not that great for organic, then at least getting the fresh fruits and vegetables, the wild-caught fish, the lean proteins, that type of stuff will make a huge difference in how you're feeling. So let me take you through real quick. So I did my grocery shopping, I've started my prep, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how I'm finishing my prep. So I have in this bowl of fruits and vegetables, I have my lemons. So I'm still doing my my Bragg apple cider vinegar with the mother in it in the morning with a squeeze of lemon. Still do that. It's a great way of resetting that system right away first thing in the morning. So I got that. I have my sweet potatoes in here. I have some apples. Actually, I got a bunch of apples that were brought to me from a client. This is the season. This is the season for locally grown apples. I also have 2 different kinds of avocados. I don't know if you can see it from here, but I lucked out and I saw the 2 different types of avocados. One is ripe, and it's a dark dark, almost black color, and then we have a lighter green color that is almost ripe. So I got both kinds so that I could get the ripe one early in the week, and then the not so ripe one will become ripe later in the week. So that's how I shop for that. As far as the grocery shopping itself, the majority of what you're getting is in the exterior aisles. The fresh fruits and veggies are in the produce section, obviously. As you make your way around, typically your butcher section, your deli section comes next. So as, in the butcher section, or talking to your local butcher, typically the freshest meats, freshest cuts of meats. Now, I got some organic chicken breasts here. I got some organic ground bison, very lean ground meat, and I ended up, so normally I get fresh king salmon, wild caught, so normally I get fresh king wild caught salmon. They were all out when I went, so I have frozen sockeye, but still wild caught. And if you ever put a wild caught fillet up to a farm raised salmon fillet, you'll notice a huge color difference between the two. The wild caught, they're absorbing a lot of the nutrients from the earth, and they are going to be a deeper, richer color and a lot more nutrient dense. Then as you're making your way around, I don't have my eggs out, so I have my own chickens. So I have fresh, organic, free-range chicken. So I did not end up getting any eggs at the supermarket, but you'll want and then exterior eggs, and I don't have it out here, but almond milk is another one, unsweetened almond milk. So we're making our way around the exterior. We stopped and got our fresh fruits and vegetables. So I have some kale. I have some romaine lettuce. I have some peppers and a jalapeno because I like some spice. 'Tis the season now for squash, and well, zucchini's a little bit out, but they still had some. I actually got a client give me a butternut squash too, so got one of those. What else? I also picked up some bags of frozen stuff to make it quick and easy. That obviously lasts a lot longer, so frozen broccoli, frozen green beans, a bag of baby spinach. Then we went to the freezer section and I picked up a bag of organic blueberries. So that kind of covers that. So what I've done is started my prep. So I've already cut up a bunch of my peppers, diced them up, my peppers, my jalapenos. I put them in here. I'll start using a lot of them. I'll also then freeze a lot of this too, so I can use it throughout the week in certain things. And I'll show you some recipes that I do with that. I'll also show you how I take a salad, take all of this kale and romaine and spinach, and some of these seasonings like organic sea kelp delight seasoning, and this Bragg nutritional yeast seasoning, and some of my apple cider vinegar, and some organic olive oil, and put that all together with a protein of some sort. So in this case, it's going to end up being chicken this week. But you want to put that together, and I'm going to show you a way to kind of put that together, season it so it tastes really, really good, and then break up a lot of these vegetables so that your body can digest them a little bit easier. So I started with, like I said, the peppers were being diced up. I also diced up my tomatoes, and I diced up my cucumbers, or cut them up and put them in a container. So I have that stuff ready for my salad. And a couple of other things. So we talked about oatmeal. So keeping your insulin levels even with oatmeal, with my blueberries, and either some unsweetened almond milk, or almonds put in there, some sort of form of protein, or a good quality protein powder. If you need help on quality of protein powder, I can certainly help you with that. So that would be my first meal of the day. My second meal, I would take my eggs, and sometimes I hard boil them, sometimes I cook a big batch of them or poach them and bring them in to work with me, and I'll have my eggs and my berries, my raspberries here. That's my second meal. My third meal then becomes that salad that I talked about. I'll make it ahead of time. I'll cook all of this chicken today, and that becomes a very quick salad then. My third meal is then typically on my raw natural whole almonds, and whether that's more berries or more vegetables, kind of putting that combination together. Then for dinner, we'd either do the packed fresh meal, or I would end up doing my salmon with some quinoa. And I'm going to show you guys a recipe that uses quinoa and actually uses ground bison as well. And another cooked vegetable. So that would be my day. That's pretty simple. I keep it pretty simple like that, varying the fruits and the vegetables just a little bit, varying the lean proteins for dinner or which lean protein I'm going to have with lunch just a little bit. But that's basically how you keep your insulin levels in check. You keep eating clean. We're prepping this all ahead of time so that it does become convenient. So when we're walking through the aisles, we're getting things like Ziploc baggies or containers like this, or microwave safe containers, so that we can make this stuff, put it in our containers, and then take it with us. That's all ready. Save your packed fresh containers and reuse those. A couple of other little add-ons. So if we're looking for something quick and easy for a snack or a little add-on, this is sunflower butter. This is unsalted chicken stock. There's a recipe that I put that and some quinoa together to make another quick meal. MCT oil. This is essentially some organic MCT oil. This is essentially liquid-based coconut oil. You can't cook with this, but it's great for adding to smoothies and adding to like your warm drinks, like a tea. So it's a good fat. Avocados, good fat. And then this coconut, so this is organic, solid at room temperature coconut oil that you can actually cook with. So a lot of great add-ons here. I talked a little fast for that, so I want to do a real quick recap. Keep your blood, so first thing in the morning, you want to jumpstart your metabolism, jumpstart your digestive system. That's why I'll do 8 ounces of water with a half a lemon and a couple tablespoons of that organic Bragg apple cider vinegar. Then I will pound another 24 ounces of water to really get everything going first thing in the morning. My first meal typically will be oatmeal, blueberries, and either using almond milk or a protein powder in order to jump my protein levels up in that meal. My second meal, either hard-boiled or poached eggs, made ahead of time, and then I will eat that with berries. Third meal, I'm going to show you guys in a different video how I put together my salad, and then my next meal from there is either some sort of like maybe a sunflower butter or raw whole almonds with either another fruit or vegetable, maybe an apple. So since 'tis the season, maybe it's an apple with that. Fourth meal for dinner, a cooked vegetable, typically a fish at that point, like a wild-caught salmon. Sometimes a quinoa, so sometimes a grain, depending upon if I got a workout in that day or not. Great seasonings, Bragg nutritional yeast, Bragg organic sea kelp delight. I already talked a couple times about the vinegar. The MCT coconut oil, which is a great fat to add to smoothies and to warm drinks, and olive oil and organic coconut oil. I think I covered everything. With your vegetables on your salad, so I have out here peppers, jalapenos. These vegetables are some squash, zucchini. Typically what I'll do is cook these with my fish. On my salad is some cucumbers, some tomatoes, my kale, my romaine, and some spinach. Avocados are great for things like adding them to your eggs, adding them to your salad. Great one to add to salad to give it that good fat. If I'm not doing quinoa, sometimes I'll do a sweet potato. And I think I covered everything. So, and the bison, which I will show you another. So guys, seriously, it's time.